word forms, word families, suffixes. It can be a little confusing to differentiate between parts of speech, word forms, and word families. How are they different, and why do they matter? In this video, we'll talk about the common word forms for 4 parts of speech: nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, and look at some examples of suffixes. We'll also talk about the most common errors that students make when choosing the correct form of the word. Let's look at these sentences below. The team was able to identify a serious problem. The company demonstrated a great deal of successful. A good worker should always be proactively. Could you spot the errors? In this first sentence, the writer has confused the noun form and the verb form of the word. In the second sentence, the writer has confused the adjective form and the noun form of the verb. In the third, the writer has confused an adverb for an adjective. Those are just a few, but after looking at them, you can see why this can be a problem. Selecting the wrong form of the word can create a lot of issues in understanding, and it looks unprofessional. Unfortunately, these issues are not picked up by spelling checks because the words are spelled correctly, and sometimes not even by grammar checks either. That's a big problem. So, let's begin by putting together these 3 concepts: parts of speech, word forms, and word families. Recall that parts of speech means a group of words that are used in the same way in a sentence. So we know there are 9, like nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, pronouns, etc. And a word form means the specific way that a word is written and said. And a word family, a group of words that share the same root but have different forms. Let's put this together. Succeed. This is a verb. If I change its word form, success, it becomes a noun. If I add a suffix to it, successful, it becomes an adjective. If I add another suffix, successfully, it becomes an adverb. If I add another prefix to it, unsuccessfully, it is an adverb with the opposite meaning. And altogether, these words make up a word family. So you can see that adding prefixes and suffixes can change the word form of a word even though the meaning might not change. A prefix is a group of letters added to the beginning of a word to make a new word, while a suffix is a group of letters added to the end of a word to make a new word. They may seem like very small details to add these letters, but they can make a huge difference in changing the meaning of words. For example, take these 2 suffixes, full and less. Full means full of, and less means without something. If we add it to the word care, we can see that more clearly. It's a good idea to notice suffixes and try to know what they mean. A list of suffixes and their meanings can be found after this video. There are 5 main errors that students commonly make with word forms. Let's look at them individually. Number 1, noun-verb confusion. Presently, there is a lot of compete for good jobs. Looking at the sentence, we can see that there is already a verb of state there, is, and that there is a determiner here, a lot of. So the word in this position must be a noun, and here the writer has used a verb. Verbs commonly end in these ways depending on the person, number, or tense. Eat, ate, ed, en, if I, ing, or eyes. Nouns have many more endings, but some of the more common ones are meant, ness, ship, shun, and ism. Some common confusions of nouns and verbs include analysis and analyze, choice and choose, complaint and complain, entry and enter, service and serve, success and succeed. Adjective and noun confusion. Find the errors in these sentences. The importance of the project was emphasized. It was a difficulty task to find a time everyone could meet. Could you find them? The writer has confused the adjective and noun forms. Because difficult and difficulty and important and importance are so similar, it's easy to confuse the forms, and these forms are very commonly confused. Again, another reason to really focus on suffixes when learning words. Can you name some other common adjective endings? Able, ul, some, and ish. A really common error is adjective and adverb confusion. This can happen because it may be difficult to differentiate between their positions in a sentence. We've had a dramatically increase in sales. My supervisor always arrives punctual. Remember to pay close attention to where the word is in the sentence. Is it before a noun? Is it after a verb? We all know that a common adverb ending is ly, li. Can you name two more? Ward, which means in a certain direction, like forward, and wise, which means in relation to, like clockwise. Confusion with different noun forms. Development, a high-quality product is important. Developing a high-quality product is important. We would select this ing or gerund form here because it is followed by a direct object. And be careful because there can be several noun forms with different meanings. Developer versus development versus developing. Again, another good reason to focus on the meaning of suffixes. The last and one of the most common word form errors has to do with adjectives, confusing the ed and the ing endings. Generally, the ed endings means that the adjective describes a feeling or emotion. The engineers were confused. Generally, the ing ending means that the adjective describes the characteristics of a person, thing, or situation. The directions were confusing. Another example, the employees were disappointed they did not get a pay raise. And the news was disappointing. And these are some of the most common errors which occur with word forms. However, notice that they mostly all begin with not paying enough attention to the part of speech of the word as well as the suffix of a word. A list is provided below of some of the most common suffixes and their meaning, so check it out. It may help you to identify patterns and catch your mistakes. Thanks for listening.